Hello, what's up guys, I'm Kyle from KGR, finally doing a review on the figma Leafa. Now, here, I finally got this figure in, and here, I've waited like a month to get this thing because I went with the cheapest shipping, but being both cheap and impatient is not a good combination. But anyway, my point is, I finally got the figure in, so now I can finally review it, and I'm super happy to have it, because now I can complete my Figma collection for Sword Art Online. It's been a long time coming for me to review this figure, so let's get it out of the way. When it comes to paint applications, everything looks great. There are a few mistakes because it's mainly like paint bleeding and stuff, and there was like lining like around her chest where like the lines just jumped. Let me focus on that quick. Okay, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see, but on my eyes, you can see how like it kind of jumps a little bit, but other than that, it looks pretty good. But when it comes to her little rings on the side of her arm, you can see that it bleeds a little bit. But other than that, the paint applications are pretty much spot on. I mean, like, look at her ponytail. Like, well, not the ponytail itself, but like this little leaf design. Like, I love the line work on that. That looks so fantastic. And of course, her eyes look really great as well because I don't know, Figma is always on point when it comes to this kind of thing. Like, their anime characters are always spot on. It's always fantastic. And the sculpt is fantastic too. Like, overall, this is a great figure. The paint bleeding is a little bit annoying, but this is going to vary from figure to figure, so if you get one, it may not happen to you. When it comes to articulation, it's standard Figma affair. We do have a few extra joints because it's Leafa, but overall, it's pretty much the same as always. Starting with the thing that is new, we have a ponytail joint, which this isn't the first time that figures had that, but this is still a unique thing, so there you go. You can rotate it as much as you want, you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. It's a standard Figma joint, so yeah, plenty of articulation. When it comes to the neck joint, it's pretty much moving forward to back, left to right, and it tilts left to right, and I love that so much. When it comes to the shoulders, however, the shoulders are a little bit poofy, so I don't want to say it's resisting, but it does get a little bit tight when you try to move the arm all the way out. Just be a little bit careful so you don't pop out the joint, but you can see that it does go out pretty well. And of course, you can move it like up and down, forward, backwards, whatever, yada yada yada. You can do whatever you want with it, and you can rotate it, so yay. But again, since the way that these shoulders are molded, like trying to put them back correctly, like if you try to keep it like that, it does look kind of awkward, so you want to tuck it in when you're done. But still, it's not too much of a pain, but it's whatever. The elbow joints are standard Figma affairs, a standard Figma joint, so you get that much of a bend for a single joint. That is pretty well, but it's not double jointed, but it's whatever, it's Figma, you're used to this already. But the one thing I do want to gripe about a little bit is the fact that she does have quite the bend. You can even go backwards a little bit, and it does look kind of awkward. Like, if you're doing a sword slash and you have it at an angle, it does look okay, but if you're doing it from like this, ew. And with newer Figmas, we get the ball socket, or not ball socket, the ball hinge for the wrist. And this is something that I probably forgot to mention in the other like female character reviews when it comes to the sort of online Figmas. Here they have these little cuffs on them, and with the standard regular Asuna from SAO1, here, since it was an older Figma, it was just a hinge. It wasn't a ball hinge or anything, so whenever you took the arm off, or not the arm, but you took the hand off, the cuff will go with her, and it was very annoying. But since we got these ball hinges, like, it stays in when you can swap out the hands, and it just makes things so easy, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, if you played with the other sort of online Figmas, you may understand as well, but for those who don't have the other ones, trust me, this is something that you don't want to take for granted. When it comes to the ab crunch, you don't really got much to work with, because look at Leafa's chest. It's so damn big. Like, you cannot move forward at all. Like, this is me, like, trying to move forward. Like, it's stuck like this. I would consider it a bad thing, but a lot of people are going to love the fact that she has a giant-ass chest. So whether it's a good or a bad thing, that's completely up to you. But she can go back a little bit. But I like how you see more of under her chest, like you see more white instead of there being a gap like in SH Figuarts or something. But they did a really good job with that, so I'm really happy with that. You can move it left to right. We have nothing around the waist, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. And of course, her little dress looking thing, it's separated, so we got two parts, and they're also on Figma joints, so you can move them any way you want. And oh, I popped it out of socket. Whoops. Now that's fixed. Then we also get the standard ball socket things for the little legs. But here, this is a little bit tight. It does restrict it a little bit, but the joints are so tight when you move it up, she will hold that pose. So that's really great. I'm really happy with that. I don't like how it's restrictive, but I like the fact that she can hold her pose. But sometimes you may pop her leg out. If you do pop it out, you can pop it back in. It's not hard. It's simple ball socket, so it's just really simple. But the leg ones are a little bit more of a pain. They pop out a lot easier when you try to pop them back on. But if you do it a certain way, somehow like it'll stay in just fine. But when I was playing with it, like, it would pop out again so easily. But then I just popped it in the right way, I guess, and then it just stayed in. When it comes to Figma, their legs are so hit and miss, mainly the knee joints, because they either do the big fat joints that are ugly as fuck, or they do the small ones. And luckily, Leafa does the small ones. But even if she did do the big ones, her dress would cover it anyway, so it'd be just fine. And the bend you get is not bad. It works. You're not gonna be pulling off Dark Magician Girl poses or anything, so it'll be fine. Which, by the way, I want to review the Dark Magician Girl so bad, but yeah, I guess that ain't happening anytime soon. When it comes to the ankles, oh god, this fell off again. This time it was the opposite one. Okay, now that's fixed. When it comes to the ankles, they go forward and back. They rock left to right. It's pretty much the way the joints were working on the head. It's pretty much the same ordeal here. But you can't really rotate it left to right all too well because of the way it's sculpted. So again, standard Figma affair. But I don't want to focus too long on your articulation. I don't want to be like Anthony's Customs. So now let's move on to the accessories. Let's start with the faces. Now we got this face by default. It's just a standard smiling face. Then you got her shouting face. And what I like to call the, oh my god, there's a boy in the girl's locker room face. And no lie, like, from this angle, it looks like it belongs in Horton Hears a Who. Now when it comes to hands, we got the standard fists. I want to say open palms, but we do actually have a different set of open palms, which I will show shortly. But these ones are fingers spread. You get what I mean. Then we got the regular open palms, so she could be all like, what the hell are you doing? Then we got our sword wielding hands. Then you have this gripping hand mainly made to hold the sheath. And then we have a hand so Kirito and Leafa can hold hands. It's mainly made for a certain dance as like toward the end of the anime. But if you want to do this kind of pose too, you can. Now when it comes to actual accessories for Leafa, we got her katana, which looks absolutely amazing. Like, I love the paintwork on this. It looks like a real blade. Like, oh man, the way like the light hits it at certain angles, like, yes, you can see how well the paint is applicated on here. Like, it's just, oh my god, yes. And putting on her sword is actually not hard either. You just simply snap it, and then you just put it through her gripping hand, which is absolutely no struggle, which is really nice, because with the regular Kirito from the regular Sword Online, it's a huge struggle. But the way you plug it in, it has to line up a certain way, and it's so tiny, so it can be a pain, but when it's done, it's good. But then you gotta line it up right, and then yeah, you're set. And of course you do have the sheath, which it does have its own little part of the sword as well. But if you want to make it look right, you gotta take the grip out, and then you gotta line it up right, which again can be a little bit of a struggle, but it's not too bad. But yeah, but that's how it's supposed to look. And then if you want to have Leafa holding the sword but have this inner sheath, the best way to have it is just simply unhook it like that. Unfortunately, the sword can't fit in there, but it does look a lot better being this small instead of being all big, bulky, and nasty, which a lot of sword wielding figures don't do that anymore, which is really nice. Like, I like how it's looking like this. But the new Twilight Princess Link is gonna go back to the original, like, having the sword slip in and out. At least I believe it's going to. Which, how that's gonna be, I have no idea. We'll see. And then it simply just slides right through here, very simply. And it has a nice grip of it, which is really nice. I just realized that whole shot was probably really blurry, so if it was, I apologize. But anyway, yeah, here is a closer look on how it looks, and it looks really great on her. One accessory that we do have that I'm actually really shocked that we got was the medallion for when you unlock Excalibur. Now, this thing, like, it looks really great. We have a little gem piece, and it's a little reflective, and it looks really great. Unfortunately, when you turn it around, you can see how the paint is chipping a little bit, but overall, it looks really great. And Leafa can wear it. You just gotta pop her head off quick for that. There we go. And this is actually the first time I'm doing this, so fun fact for you. There we go. Simply slips on, pop the head in, there we go. But the way that this is looking, it doesn't want to like stay down all too well, but just play with it and you should be okay, I guess. So there you go. It does look rather big, and it doesn't lay kind of well. Like, I kind of wish they would have used a different type of string, because the string does seem kind of stiff, but if it was more loose, then it would like go a lot better. But you can take this off relatively easily, and if you want, you can replace it with regular old like sewing string, but it's not going to show up too well on the figure, so that's going to be a little bit of a pain. But you do you, that's all I gotta say. I just don't like how this tries to lay on her, but like it ends up like trying to defy gravity. And of course you have her wings, and you gotta plug that in either through the stand, or if you don't want her to fly actually, then you can use a peg as well, and it simply just goes through the hole and then through her back, and it fits well, it works, so it's all good. I like it. And of course we have the stand, the spare wrist joint, and the bag. So overall, what are my thoughts on this figure? To be real with you guys, it's a Sword Art Online Figma. It doesn't do anything too different that makes it super exciting. If you like Leafa, if it's your waifu, then absolutely pick it up. If you're a fan of Sword Art Online, absolutely pick it up. But if you're just a casual fan, if you like Leafa, then sure, pick it up. But it doesn't blow my mind like the Figma Yugi did. But overall, it's still a great figure. You should totally pick it up. If you're going to pick it up from anywhere, normally I'd recommend Ami, but as of right now, I think the best deal would probably be MH Toy Shop, because it is a few extra dollars more than Ami, but you will get it in 2 days. So no, they're not paying me to say that or anything. This is one collector going to another saying that that's probably the best place that you can get it as of right now. And in the future, there's probably going to be some bootlegs, so I'd probably stay away from eBay, honestly. But if you find a good listing on eBay, if you see it for about like $50, like free shipping and everything, then sure, give it a shot. But if you see it for less than 20 bucks or less than 30, yeah, don't even try. And that's going to be it for the video. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. Also, let me know in the comments, are you picking this figure up? Personally, I'm happy to have it in my collection, so now I have a complete collection, but it just sucks that it didn't blow my mind, honestly. And if you like my kind of reviews, then subscribe, because I like to do figure reviews every once in a while. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you all in the next one.